Welcome back to Primetime News. Hundreds of passengers destined for the United States were left stranded in Jamaica today. This is due to flight cancellations as a result of a snowstorm impacting several states. Local authorities are monitoring the situation, and we now have Anthony Lugg with this report.
A monster storm has been wreaking havoc across much of the United States since Friday, resulting in some 12,000 flight cancellations, and Jamaica has not been spared. Transport Minister Dal Vaz provided details Saturday afternoon.
I can confirm that Jamaica has begun to be impacted with cancellations from the USA as a result of the winter storms flowing through the USA. Norman Manley International Airport, 2 JetBlue flights from New York, Sangster International, 1 American Airlines from Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, and we will keep monitoring the situation and advising the public accordingly.
When our news team visited the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston, this is what it looked like. Some passengers who were left stranded due to flight cancellations looked on as they calculated their next move, while others sought additional information from their airlines. The snowstorm in the United States is expected to continue into Sunday, and so uncertainty lingers over when the flights will resume. In the meantime, passengers are being urged to check with their respective air carriers before turning up at airports. Anthony Lugg, TVJ News.
Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton is rejecting claims that he should bear the responsibility for procurement breaches at the University Hospital of the West Indies. Dr. Tufton says blame rests squarely with those who deal with procurement at the health facility.
More than a week after the Auditor General's report exposed serious breaches at the University Hospital of the West Indies, public concern continues to mount. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton, who appointed a committee to investigate the findings, is now facing intense criticism. Despite this, Dr. Tufton is distancing himself from the fallout, saying the matter is complex and rooted in long-standing systematic challenges.
Free media is filled with distractions, and unfortunately it's an opportunity for persons to comment and to pursue their ambitions.
Dr. Tufton says those responsible for procurement are the ones who should be held accountable.
For example, you have a development program for the University Hospital that started at the University of the West Indies, where resources were provided to support the design of a new building. As a case in point, that resource was determined through another institution, government in the Caribbean, and was administered through the University of the West Indies. So what we need to do is to assess in its totality against the report how these layers of authority work.
In the meantime, Dr. Tufton says he is actively working to address the internal issues highlighted in the report as investigations continue.
I have to allow that process to take its course, and I've given that committee 4 months, and they have graciously agreed. And I think in the meantime what we need to do is to support the operations of the university, which is a very critical institution for training of healthcare workers, for research in healthcare, and of course we're providing tertiary level, higher level service in terms of patient care. And we always have to give that institution that support while we work on some of the other issues.
Kerry-Ann Simpson, TVJ News.
As the security forces seek to put a further dent in the country's crime stats, the government says it will not allow the progress to be undermined by a breakdown in discipline. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness rejected corruption and conduct that undermines public trust. Anthony Lugg reports.
The 41% decline in murders in 2025 has offered cautious optimism from stakeholders. The police has been hailed for its success and has committed to build on those gains. Amid those plans, this appeal from Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness.
While we are experiencing significant reduction in crime, we must move to a new phase in our development, and that is the phase of sustained peace. where you get compliance without the need to use force.
Dr. Holness, who was speaking at the graduation ceremony for new police officers in St. Catherine this week, while firmly rejecting corruption and conduct that undermines public trust, stressed the need for partnership in the crime fight.
Crime is not only solved by law enforcement alone. It is reduced when residents become partners, when young people see officers as role models rather than threats, and when communities believe that justice will be served fairly and promptly.
Meanwhile, a Supreme Court ruling last week has reignited debate about discipline, expression, and professionalism within the ranks. The court found that 2 senior police officers acted beyond their legal authority when they sanctioned a constable for posting a video on social media that allegedly brought the JCF into disrepute. While the Prime Minister did not reference the case directly, he underscored that officers must uphold the dignity of the uniform.
When you wear your uniform, you must act according to the values and principles of the uniform, no matter what is popular, no matter what is going to get you likes, no matter what other people think. You represent an institution that has values that it is placing before the public. It may not meet them all the time, but it must continue to aspire to them. And you must not undermine it.
Anthony Lugg, TVJ News.
Children's advocate Dan Gordon Harrison says mental health challenges among children remain alarmingly high in Jamaica. She warns many are still struggling to cope after Hurricane Melissa.
The Safe Space hotline lights up daily with WhatsApp messages from children crying out for help. Behind the texts are real voices struggling with mental and emotional challenges. The causes are complex and deeply rooted. Many children face serious family issues at home. Others are still affected by Hurricane Melissa, which impacted the country last October.
For example, anxiety remains an issue. Some of them speak about feeling hopeless. And there's also, of course, the concern about when will things become regular again. So we're continuing to see contact with the wide range of issues that face our children, which also is a consistent reminder that while we speak about the physical care, that mental health issues in relation to our children cannot be overlooked, and we can't take it for granted that because they look okay, they are okay.
Children's advocate Diane Gordon Harrison highlights Petersfield Primary School in Westmoreland. The institution continues to be used as a shelter following the passage of the storm. Months later, many are still struggling to recover.
As we understand, is in fact the reality on the ground, is that the maintenance of the plant is not perhaps what it would have been had it just been occupied by students. And so there's going to be the need for some attention to having the space ready to receive the students and the teachers, of course, because if the teachers are not feeling well adjusted in the environment, then that's going to affect their delivery and the way that they really communicate in the space.
The impact goes beyond academics. Children are carrying emotional scars. Mrs. Gordon Harrison says parents must do more to protect their children's mental health and well-being.
That while we speak about the physical care, that mental health issues in relation to our children cannot be overlooked, and we can't take it for granted that because they look okay, they are okay. So it really is an opportunity, I think, for parents, especially when things are not as normal as they used to be, to have conversations with their children, check in with them, be that reassuring voice, and ensure that you are present to really navigate life with them.
Hal Shane Burke, TVJ News.
And it's time for a break. Stay with us for local news when we return. Welcome back, continuing the news. To a TVJ News follow-up. Earlier this week, we featured the story of a pumpkin farmer in Clarendon who has been facing heavy losses due to a glut and a lack of buyers. Days after TVJ News highlighted his plight, pumpkin farmer Robert Russell is now seeing a rush of buyers.
I don't know if I did think just bust like that, but yeah, I start get little something. So I hope more people come on board, because we need more strength to move it. So hopefully some more people come on board. Yeah.
So some person reach out and buy.
Yes, man. I have about 3 to 4 buyers where just click it up and I take them like 1,000 and 2,000.
It's more encouraging now though.
Yeah, we are some man and more encouragement. More water in the sky to come in, so we have more pumpkin to plant and more pumpkin to plant. We can't stop planting. We cannot stop. Because food. You understand? So we have to plant food. Because people need food.
The farmer had expressed concern that thousands of pounds of produce were at risk of spoiling after weeks without buyers. While he's grateful for the immediate response.
A pumpkin at the field right now. We can't measure it. We cannot measure it. You just want to pick. Because more you pick, you release the other one to come fit. A Cayman that are going. That going straight to Cayman, You saw them pretty? Yeah. And if big cloud wait for it too, and I said I go steering at him 2 or 3 more days from now. You was here and hear the young man call and say, I wait for the pumpkin. So you know it's gone, he gone.
And we take another break. News from overseas when we return.
Primetime News, brought to you by
KFC value menu. As you're thinking chicken, get the chicken box combo for just $680. KFC.
Welcome back to the Primetime News. In news overseas, a massive winter storm is sweeping across much of the United States. Nearly 230 million people are now under severe weather alerts for the weekend. More from the CNN.
Multiple crews prepping and treating runways at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport in Atlanta as the busiest airport in the world braces for a massive winter storm that could cripple travel for days.
We are expecting that we'll have snow and ice that we'll have to deal with.
Close to 230 million people from New Mexico up to Maine are under weather alerts through Monday as half the country prepares for catastrophic conditions, bringing heavy snow and dangerous ice.
Downed trees and power lines could cause extended power outages and debris issues.
Multiple states and D.C. have declared a state of emergency. This monster storm could bring nearly an inch of ice or more to large sections of the plains and south. Parts of the Midwest and Northeast will be pounded with snow. Some areas like upstate New York could see up to 2 feet. Even New York City could get more than a foot of accumulation.
This is a very dangerous combination of heavy snow and extreme cold temperatures.
Ahead of this massive storm comes the bitter and extreme cold. Arctic air and wind chills will send feels-like temperatures well below zero in some parts of the country. The mix of brutally cold temperatures and ice could be disastrous for places not equipped for these conditions, like Dallas.
Additional resources are in the city of Dallas, and they're ready to respond to outages or any disruptions that we experience.
Already, thousands of flights have been canceled nationwide ahead of this weekend storm, and many more are expected as this storm continues through Monday.
And we take another break. Sports is next.
A stellar list of local and global sporting properties.
Policy.
Watch Building a Better Public Sector, a 4-part docuseries on TVJ starting